Hello and welcome, everybody. We got the Monday Night Football DFS slate breakdown to go over. Before we get into it, come join us at LINESTAR. $39.99 per month gets you access to all we do, the props, the DFS. You get it all for one low price. Also, if you've never tried us out before, we got a free trial option, 7 days free. Just come try us out. Leave us a review. Tell us how much you love the platform. It is by far the best mobile platform for DFS in the industry. Gil Ticket, what's going on? Josh, thank you guys as always. Appreciate you always showing up. Now, let's get into it a little bit. We got a nice little slate on our hands. Monday Night Football. Between Kansas City Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars. 45.5 game total. Chiefs -3.5 road dogs. The big news situation is Xavier Worthy. He is expected to play, and news just broke that they will double check him when he gets to the stadium, see how it feels, but all news right now is positive for him. It appeared that yesterday he went on to the injury report just as a precaution because his ankle did swell up a little bit on the flight. But they're saying he's good to go and he's going to be playing. So there's that. Now, let's get into some picks. As always, we'll do position by position, trying to break down this game. And starting with the quarterback position, we got Patty Mahomes and Trevor Lawrence. T-Law and P. Mahomes. Ooh, and news broke just now that Antonio Gibson, Patriots running back, tore his ACL. So Travion Henderson should finally get a shot for a little more playing time. Congrats to you best ball bag holders. Hopefully he finally comes and plays. All right, Patrick Mahomes. We got 10.6K, 20-point projection, 20-point consensus, 4.5-star alert score. He's obviously the highest owned quarterback, as he generally is on a showdown slate. We know he's very good. This year we've seen a little more of those ceiling outcomes from him. The last couple years, we've only seen those in the playoffs or at the end of the year when he's really trying to will his team to some victories. But that's had to happen regularly so far. And with that, I'm fine going here. The Jags, 23rd versus opponent quarterback, allowing 246 yards per game and 1.8 touchdowns. Completion rate, however, is only 59%. So they've been good, just not great. There's been a couple things that have just gone away from them, and thus it's been hard. Now we have on our team defense tool, we have Jacksonville at 20th versus quarterback. On the other side, we got T-Law, and the KC Chiefs are second versus quarterback. It might be a tough spot for Trevor Lawrence, who is 9.2K, a 14-point projection, 16-point consensus. Only a 2-star alert score, which goes to our team defense tool. And this Chiefs team has been very good versus the quarterback, allowing 194.5 yards a game and only 1 touchdown. But that completion percentage is almost 67%, and they've allowed some rushing. So I think T-Law probably needs to use his legs a little bit here. But the completion percentage, shows me that this KC Chiefs team can be beat through the air. It just hasn't really happened yet. And, that's a little bit of the issue here. And the Chiefs have played Lamar, who got hurt. Russell Wilson, who had a terrible game. It was the game that, got him benched. And then Jalen Hurts, who really hasn't thrown the ball. And then Herbert went totally nuts. So it's not like they've really played great passing quarterbacks. Lamar is a great passing quarterback, but he did get hurt. And so we couldn't see how that game would end with him. And 14 of 20 for 146 or 147 and a touchdown isn't all that bad. maybe this KC Chief team does profile a little bit better than they actually are via the pass and for the quarterback. I don't mind some T-Law, but pretty much anytime we're talking about quarterbacks here, the big thing is, yes, Josh, he probably throws an interception. That's kind of a normal thing. Anytime we're talking about quarterbacks here, we really got to talk about what the game script is going to be. So if you're using quarterbacks, understand the game script you're building with and build your lineup to fit that story. If it's Jaguars got to come back and win it, then you're probably talking about a, Trevor Lawrence with 2 pass catchers in the lineup. One of the pass catchers probably being the captain because he's going to have to throw a lot and it just raises the chances of them being captain here. So now let's get over to running back. Travis Etienne, 9.8K. We got a 15.7 point projection. Consensus is down to 13. 4.5 star alert score, and he's 64% owned, by far the highest owned running back on this slate. As far as our team defense spot, though, KC, 5th versus running back. They have been really tough in the receiving category and have been good at eliminating yards. They also haven't been, they've been about average at allowing touchdowns. If we look at what they've done, they've allowed 94.5 rushing yards per game, 5 receptions, 0.8 touchdowns per game, ranking 22nd. ETN's been solid this year, 98.5 rushing yards per game on 16 attempts and 3 tutties. I'm absolutely fine using ETN. I think if you're using ETN, most likely what is happening is the Jaguars are leading most of the game. And obviously, you can use him at captain if you want. If he goes over 100 and he gets a touchdown and the game is slightly lower scoring, maybe slightly under the under, then I think he can be captain. If the game is higher scoring, 101 tutty will not get it done for him captain-wise. He'll either have to have another touchdown or, get some done in the receiving game or really, really break one, something like that. On the other side of the ball, we got really a 3-headed backfield now. We got Isaiah Pacheco, who has had the most run, but last game that went down to 37%, where Kareem Hunt had 44%, and then Brashard Smith was up to 26%. The Chiefs came out this week saying they want to keep getting Smith some work, that they really like him. He got up to 26%. That was a jump up from 11%. So I don't know how likely it is he goes another big jump up. I think it could have been a little bit of a situation that they were blowing them out and just gave him some more run. So, I mean, like we saw this week a little bit, or this weekend, like with Woody Marks, for instance. Woody Marks came out, had this huge game, got a way more run than he had been getting in weeks before because he did very well. But that didn't translate to this week. And I think there is the chance of that. I think people are really talking up Brashard Smith today. So I'd be cautious with playing too much Brashard Smith in this game. I wouldn't expect him to go higher than 30% of the snaps. And I think 30% is on the high side. Now, you can absolutely use Brashard Smith at 3,200. He is cheap enough where it makes some sense, but our projections to consensus is only 4.5. You're going to be giving up some projection having him in the lineup, but at least he is a little bit lower owned. Now, Pacheco coming in as, the lowest owned of all of them is a little wild to me. He has been the best of them all. 7 carries for 35, 2 receptions for 13, and a touchdown last game. If we check out his targets, he has the most targets of any of the running backs. He has 9. Brashard, Smith, and Hunt both have 6. I think that if you want a Chiefs running back, Pacheco is the most likely one to come through here. But reminder, we really don't have much idea of what's going on, and it's going to be all 3 of these guys getting work. I would not be surprised if it ends up being like 35 to 40% Pacheco, 35% Hunt, and then Smith getting the rest. On the Jag side, after ETN, Tootin and Allen are in a similar situation where they're just picking up the scraps of what ETN is not playing. So both of those are only kind of break in case of emergency type plays. You're trying to get a little bit different. Tootin at least has played more snaps almost every single game. He went 6%, 25%, 17%, then up to 24%. He's been in that area. Allen went 14, 15, 30, and then down to 18. I think it is a game script dependent thing for him. And he is going to be used. Allen's going to be used just pretty much in passing down situations. He's a very good pass protection guy and a solid receiving back. So if you use Allen at all, you're using him in a comeback type lineup, where the Jags are down real early. So at 400, he's probably going to get 1 catch, 2 catches. I don't mind it. Don't love it. But he's super low owned, can get you different. If he's able to get a touchdown at 400, he will be optimal. Really don't love the spot for any of these running backs, though, for the Chiefs. On our team defense tool, they are popping, though. So I think we need some context, though, with this. So Hubbard, only 16 of 57. He got it done through the passing game. 3 for 32, then got in a touchdown. So altogether, 89 yards, 3 receptions, and a touchdown. Solid game for Hubbard, but it's not like, it was really that great of a game. Chase Brown did nothing, but he's done nothing all year. Chubb did nothing. Chubb hasn't done much all year. And then it's McCaffrey. And once again, McCaffrey did it mostly through the receiving game. 6 receptions for 92 yards. And a touchdown. So I think for Pacheco to really get it done, it's got to be in the receiving game. Same goes for Hunt or Smith. Smith is probably the best receiving back, but he's just not getting enough work yet to trust. And then ETN, Chiefs are very tough on the ground, and they've been that way for a little while now. Now, let's get over to wide receiver and break that down before we head on over. So, highest owned right now is Dyami Brown at 2K. Look, 2K is way too cheap for him. The way it breaks down is we have a projection of 8 for him. Consensus is 6.6. And he's coming in super owned, 57% at only 2K. The other aspect is that Dyami Brown, weeks 1 and 2, played 71% and 80%. He is totally off the injury report after missing week 4. With that, I think he goes back up to 75, 80%. And with a 2K salary, I would be playing him and probably playing a lot. 3.5-star alert score. KC has been very good versus the wide receiver, but they've been exceptionally good versus the wide receiver 1. First wide receiver 1. As far as wide receiver 2, they're average. They've been decent against the wide receiver 3 as well. But Dyami Brown, it's by all intents and purposes, is the wide receiver 2 as far as a snap count. Hunter's there, but he pretty much plays in the slot and is playing limited snaps, 55-ish%, maybe gets up to 60 in a good game. Hunter Brown absolutely needs to be used, and I think he's going to get some work. If he gets a touchdown at his salary, he's definitely optimal. Xavier Worthy, the next highest owned, 8.8K, 16.6 point projection. Consensus is 15. Now, Worthy, we have some other things to talk about here. 4-star alert score. The spot is good. I love the spot for Worthy. My only issue is this questionable tag. So what happened over the weekend is they flew to Jacksonville. His ankle, swelled up, and he got put on the injury list yesterday. It's always scary when a guy is a late ad like that. It generally does not work well, when somebody is a late ad. Now, this is a situation they knew about. They weren't really worried about, but it became a little bit more of a worry. So they're looking at it like he is expected to play, but there was precaution with throwing him on the injury report. So do with that information which you will. I absolutely love the spot for Worthy. I've bet him over receiving yards. I've bet him over receiving and rushing. I think he is a major, major part of this game plan week in and week out. And by the fact that he got 8 targets and 2 carries in a game that he was supposed to be limited, tells me a lot. I think he's going to play a lot. And also the other aspect was week 1, he left, one of the first targets of the game, it was the first target of the game, but one of the first snaps of the game where him and Travis Kelce ran into each other. And after that, Hollywood Brown had 16 targets. I think Worthy is the main factor of this offense. And right now people are not considering him that. So I would be going hard on him, 8,800. I think he's in a great spot. I would use a bunch. Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith. These guys are in very similar situations. Now, Juju played 78% of the snaps last game. He's been right around 70 in all 4 games this year. Hollywood Brown snap count keeps going down. He's going to be used. And if something happens where he can't go, I think Brown is more likely to fill those shoes, and take that role. But I have a very hard time betting on Hollywood Brown in this spot. He just hasn't really produced with this team. He's, now played, 9 games? 10 games. And besides that 116 target game, really hasn't done much. Has only been in double digits if you take that one game out twice. And one of those was just 10 points. The other was 13. I think the ceiling on him isn't that high. Can he do it with Patrick Mahomes? Absolutely. I just don't think it's likely. And at 7K, I would rather just play Juju, who is a little safer, but we've at least seen a ceiling with him and is more regularly around that 10-point mark with this KC Chiefs team. Now, I think there is some aspects where we need to think about Tyquan Thornton. If Worthy is at all limited because of that ankle, I think Thornton's the one that gets the big boost. Now, Thornton is a guy that's not going to get a ton of targets most likely, but he's going to get some deep shots, and you only need one play of that to meet up at his price for it to really count, and he's going totally overlooked, totally unowned. I would be absolutely fine getting some Thornton. Now, back to the KC side, BTJ, 10.4K, 4-star alert score. I think he's in a very, very tough matchup, and while I will play a little bit because he is extremely good, he's had a tough year and he's in a tough spot. I think he's very hard to play, but with him so low owned, he's worthy playing. At least he has 7 targets, 6, 12, 7. They're still going to him regularly. These guys just haven't connected. It's only a matter of time. Personally, I don't think the time is this week, but he's too good not to consider whatsoever. So BTJ in play, but not a main option here. Then Travis Hunter at 6.6K. I personally think this could be a little bit of his coming out party. I think he's going to be used a decent amount inside to move the ball, to move the chains. And if you watch the prop show, I already picked plus 310 for a touchdown, over 2.5 receptions. I think he probably is in that 4 to 6 receptions area with 60-ish yards and then and maybe a tutty, which that would be good enough to be optimal. I think he is firmly in play, and I think people are going to overlook him a little bit. As far as his role, he's right around 50 to 60% week in and week out. And he has a role where there's scheme to get him targets. And so I really do like him. Parker Washington at 3,600. What we have seen when there is a healthy Dyami Brown and Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas is that Parker Washington plays 25%. I would expect that's how he is. I don't love him from what his price is on this slate. I think most likely he's not going to get it done. If I have a couple of them and, he's below 10% owned, I'm fine with it, but he is not going to be a major target. My targets as far as wide receiver are Worthy. They're Brown, probably Hunter. And, that's probably about all. Let's get over to our tight end spot. All right, so Brenton Strange, 4.6K. He is coming in at the highest owned. People don't want to play 7.6 Travis Kelce, apparently, but 4.6K Brenton Strange. My one big thing about Strange that is so interesting to me is he has yet to record a red zone target. 0 red zone targets. Now, Strange has been solid. 6 receptions, 45 yards, 6 receptions, 61 yards, 3 receptions, 17, 4, 59. He's been used a lot, but this is a tough matchup for tight ends. So far in the year, 33 yards per game to the tight end, 0 touchdowns. They're ranking 4th. If we look at who they played on tight end, though, that is part of the reason. Disley, Goddard was out, so was Calcantara. Theo Johnson, who, besides last week, really hasn't been a part of the team. Or, sorry, this week. And then you had Mark Andrews in the first game back with Likely, who, once again, he didn't do a ton. So it hasn't been great competition, but they have kept some, decent tight ends like Andrews down. He did have 8 targets for 7 receptions and 30 yards, though. So he was able to get the targets, just wasn't able to get the yards. I don't love Strange on this spot. Can he bounce back with his first red zone target? Absolutely. But Strange just isn't a main target for me. Now let's go over to Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce, we know, is going to be involved. He's going to get 4 to 8 targets. He's going to get 30 to 60 yards. And it comes down, do you want to overpay for the name and for him to get a touchdown? That's really where it comes down. Now, using our team defense tool, Jags 19th versus tight end, just as good as Chiefs are, and neither have really been exceptional in the red zone. Or sorry, both defenses have been fairly good in the red zone, keeping the tight end out. I don't mind some Travis Kelce because we know his role, but I don't totally love it. Noah Gray is a absolute wild card, but he is used a bit. 6 targets versus the Giants, 5 targets versus Philly, then 1 and 1. If Worthy is limited at all, I think there's more path to Noah Gray being something. With if Worthy's out there playing a ton of snaps, then I think Noah Gray has less likely to do much. Funny enough is Hunter Long has been the tight end that has got all the red zone looks. So far, Hunter Long has 3 red zone targets and 2 red zone touchdowns. For whatever reason, they like Hunter Long in that role, and it's shown. So as a let's get wild and hope we get a crazy, tight end touchdown at 1,600, you could do worse than that. I don't hate that play. I think it's an interesting way to go about it. Now, getting over to defense, we got Jags, we got Chiefs, both around the similar price. Dating back to last year, like if Worthy can't go for some reason, I think it raises the chance of the Jags defense quite a bit to be good. If Worthy's playing, I'm probably out on the Jags D. Mahomes just doesn't make a ton of mistakes. Chiefs, on the other hand, I don't mind playing. For the reason being, I think the Chiefs can get a lead, hold a lead, and force the Jags to throw more, which just, makes more mistakes be able to happen in that situation. There is a path to the Chiefs D. Don't love it, but absolutely there. And then the kicker, with this new kicking ball and the chance of mid-teens, I think it's very real, and you gotta consider the kicker. I mean, Butker 13 and 13 in the last 2. Cam Little 15 game 1, and then right around 10. Once again, it's all game script dependent, but you can play them if you would like. And that will do it for us today, guys. Please come join us at LINESTAR. $39.99 per month gets you access to all you saw here. Then also get access to the mobile apps, which are by far the best in the industry. Come join us. Come try us out. And I will talk to you guys all later. Have a good one. Good luck. See you tomorrow. Peace.